So, coming to you live from Bram Stoker Park in Dublin, Ireland. So this is part 2 of my Bram Stoker self-guided tour of places where he lived and where he was born. And the place he was born is right behind me there. I believe it's that green door right there. I'm having fun. It was a sort of a spur of the moment, inspired by feeling re-energized to dive into this story and to do the work that I need to do to move the edit forward, because Elizabeth and I will be working on it in New York in August, with the hopes of having a rough cut by the end of the summer, and then going through the festival route or whatever opportunities will open themselves. But I was speaking with someone today who had watched all of my other video updates while I was filming Strigoi in Transylvania, and he had a really good question, two actually. One, he wanted to understand more about the difference between vampires and Strigoi, and two, he really wanted to see the interviews with the people who've had fantastical experiences. So I can answer the first question, and then the second one will be answered in the film. So the difference between vampires and Strigoi are important. So vampire was created by Bram Stoker, really, and he's the one that made the strongest connection between the vampire and Dracula, Vlad Dracula. Now, Vlad Dracula for us is a national hero, but in Bram's stories, he is the villain. So, Bram Stoker never went to Transylvania, and I don't know what his knowledge of history was when he wrote the book, but it really is irrelevant when it comes to crafting these amazing, powerful stories. So a vampire is a very clean representation of a creature that subsides on the energy and life of others, i.e. blood. And in the case of the vampire, he will, or she, will kill their victim. And they have an allure and an attraction and a magnetism, just like the Strigoi. Now, the Strigoi is a little bit of a different creature, because as the vampire is dead and reanimated, the Strigoi can be either alive or dead. What makes a Strigoi from, rather than a regular human being, is an alliance with the dark forces that provides them their power. So this can be either inherited, or it can be the result of some personal bad choices, whichever way you want to look at it. But the Strigoi is also capable of controlling weather, of talking to animals, so it's more of a cross between, I guess you could say, a vampire, because the Strigoi does take energy from either humans or animals, but what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, and a witch. So they can do spells, and also shapeshifters, so they can turn themselves into whatever animal. The most common would be a dog, and I do have an interview with one of the ladies who said that she knows of a story of such renown. And the lady who, my grandma's neighbor and friend, who I grew up with, who is a main character in the film, she was told to have turned herself into a duck, of all things. I mean, why not? So that's it from me for now. I hope that answered your question a little bit about the difference between the two creatures. And it's fun for me to be able to come to you and talk about Bram Stoker from the very place where he was born, and from amongst the trees that are rustling in the wind. And again, thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions, hopefully they'll be answered in the film, but please do post them below and I'll do my best to answer them as accurately as possible. Okay, thanks. Bye.